book. Happy Sunday. Um, I hope everyone is having a relaxing day if possible, or that you're doing things that you enjoy doing. Um, let's see. I always wonder if I should babble for the first couple minutes because, it takes time to build an audience and they're like, oh, we're getting people. I just woke up, got to sleep in, haven't had to been able to sleep in like months. Um, Today's talk is about self-talk, and I've mentioned it before. I think I've talked about it before, but I really believe it's important, and so I'm going to talk about it again. I've been paying attention to the people around me, hey Ruben, and how they talk to themselves. Hey Angel, on a normal basis. And I've just noticed how much we criticize ourselves. Hey Yvonne, um, just in regular self talk. I was hanging out with someone yesterday, and um, she made a mistake, and she was like, "Oh, how dumb of me," and kind of moved on, and it wasn't a big deal. And I think it's in it. At first, I always want to be like, well, that doesn't make you dumb. You made a mistake. You're human. Everybody makes mistakes. But then the second part is like, how easily do we fall into that pattern of talking to ourselves in a negative way? Like, that was a dumb mistake, or how stupid of me, or I'm lazy, or I'm this and I'm that, and I'm this and I'm that. And we're really not, you know. For one, I can't remember when it started. I feel like it's been about a year or two since I've been working on my self-talk. And I'm not perfect at it. Even in thinking about what to talk about today, I was thinking about yesterday. I was doing something, and my thoughts were telling me that I'm replaceable and I'm not important, and I'm this and I'm that. And then the difference is today is I hear it and I recognize it for what it is. Hey Doris, I can hear it in my mind and think, oh, that's my committee or my stinking thinking, or whatever you want to call it. It's not real. And I used to take that to heart, like I am replaceable and people don't really need me here and they wouldn't notice if I was gone. Um, I've had that kind of thinking since I was a teenager. And that's my main stinking thinking is people wouldn't notice if I wasn't here. And I know that that's not the case now. I didn't know it before. But it took a lot of work, and it took a lot of dedication to really paying attention to the words that I use in reference to myself. Um, and what really hit home was, one of my main themes is, if you've listened to some of my other talks, is um, I want to be the kind of woman that I would want my daughter to be. She may not necessarily want to be the same, but in my mind, if I'm gonna want things for her, then I need to be that example. And so, hey Frank, and I want her to have, a better understanding of herself and her feelings, her body, her awareness than I did. Um, because I think it'll, give her the tools that she needs to navigate the world around her. And so back to my point, it was about a year ago, and we were in the car, and hey Art, and she said something like, I think it was the same thing. She made a mistake, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so dumb," and I was like, and I was trying to think of how to get my point across because I had been talking to her about self talk, and I was like, "Well, yeah, you are." And I don't say things like that. I don't tell her she's dumb. I don't tell her she's, I really make an effort to not speak to her in that manner. And she looked at me and she was like, "What?" And she was like, "You just called me dumb." And I was like, "Well, you called yourself dumb. So why isn't it? when you talk to yourself a certain way, you're setting the boundary for other people and you're teaching other people how to talk to you. If they hear you telling yourself that you're dumb or you're weak or you're, ugly and you're fat and you're whatever, other people are going to follow suit, right? And when you set that boundary for yourself and you talk to yourself in a positive manner, you see when other people are doing something different and you feel that it's not okay. And that's when you practice your boundaries and you tell people that's not okay. Because if you don't allow it for yourself, when you get into that practice, you don't allow it from other people either. And that was huge because she was like, oh, and I was, I was like, yeah, if your friends hear you calling yourself dumb, they're gonna think you're dumb, and then they're gonna, have that perception of you. And I don't want your friends calling you dumb. I don't want you calling yourself dumb. And so like I personally don't talk about being fat. Sometimes I have, I look in the mirror, I'm like, ah, but I don't. I really try hard not to show that in front of her because, when it comes to making decisions, it's like, well, does your body need that food? Is it going to use it in a good way, or is it going to make you feel? Is it going to make your stomach hurt, or is it going to, wear off in 10 minutes, or is it going to, do you? And we're working on that, and so what my point is really practice, if it matters to you, practice how you talk to yourself. It's really easy. Hey, Lubia. And you're the one, my friend Lubia, introduced the idea of negative seeds. When you speak negatively to yourself or to other people, you're planting negative seeds. And what do you want to grow? Because that's going to grow. And I think somebody said that in another recording, the words that you use are planting what you're going to reap tomorrow. The actions that you take are planting what your tomorrow is going to look like, and it's normal for them to pass through your mind, but don't hold on to them. Don't plant them. Don't, I don't like using the word don't. It's normal for them to pass through your mind, but let them go. Recognize them, honor them because they are a part of you, and let them go. That's not true. That's not who I am anymore. My mind tries to tell me who I used to be as if it's who I am still. And that takes a lot of effort also. Like, I used to be a cheater. I used to be a liar. I used to be a lot of things that I'm not anymore. I have integrity. I have, and, what kind of examples for those of you that have kids, are you talking to your kids that way? Because your voice is, I believe, and it doesn't make it real, but I believe that your voice is what they hear in their minds when they talk to themselves. And I don't think we realize that, or I don't think it's hard to keep that in mind all the time. I've heard other kids talk to themselves, and I'm like, where did because they had to learn it from somewhere. Who did they learn it from? And it's sad because it's just sad. I'm rambling now. I'm gonna go on for just a few more minutes. My daughter's having a situation at school, and there's another child who's behaving in a way that's not acceptable. But at the same time, I think I frustrate other people because I'm like, well, why is she behaving that way? And what is she learning at home that's making her think that behavior is okay? And, what's happening to her that's making her want to create pain for other people? And while I know I'm frustrating people, it's like, I think we need to think past what we see right in front of us. And things are deeper than what we think. I don't know if I said that right. But anyway, so original point, happy Saturday. Be kind to yourself in your words, in your actions. And teach especially if you have an influence on the people around you. Or thanks, I paid a lot for them. Frank says I have good teeth, great teeth. Especially if you have an influence of people around you. Sometimes we don't realize who's paying attention. Like, I don't think my friend would think that I was listening to all that yesterday, with the way she was talking to herself. And then I got nervous. I'm like, well, should I point it out to her? Which I think I'm going to at some point. I just didn't want to, I don't know. I don't want to make people uncomfortable, but it's important. Be nice to yourself. Love yourself. Not the sheep. Yeah, I'm not a sheep. What was the other one? It was a sheep. I'm getting off topic. Okay. Thanks everybody for watching. I don't think I said hi to everybody, so let me see. Hey Dana. Hey Vicky. Hey Rudy. Hey Daniel. Hey Jennifer. I think I got everybody else. Okay. I appreciate you hanging in there with me and listening to me ramble. I always love your feedback. If you find yourself in a situation where you're using less than positive words and you changed it around, I'd love to hear that too. Thank you, Lubia, for teaching me about negative seeds. It really made a difference when I started hearing it. Be the change. Let's set the example for the people around us. No matter how corny or foo-foo or whatever words you want to use, it sounds like, our world could use some love and growth. Okay. Have a great Sunday. Bye.